Eliminating capitalists, a nightmare for the poor. Xuefeng. It seems like a paradox. How could eliminating capitalists turn into a nightmare for the poor? If there are no capitalists, then no one would exploit the poor, and they should become richer, not poorer, right? Let's start with a theoretical deduction, and then we'll demonstrate with facts. Imagine a remote village with a population of 100 people, where everyone is living in poverty, barely scraping by with insufficient food and inadequate clothing. Suddenly, a capitalist from abroad arrives and establishes a food processing plant. He encourages the locals to grow apple trees, buys their apples, processes them into apple vinegar, and sells it on the market to make a profit. Additionally, he hires 10 local people to work in his factory, providing them with wages. As a result, many who planted apple trees secured an income, and those 10 who were hired gained steady income, injecting some vitality into the area. People with a little money began to consume. Consequently, someone opened a small restaurant next to the factory. Others started a barber shop, a tailor shop, and a small grocery store. The local economy gradually prospered, attracting more people from outside. Some women came to marry local men. Others came to open repair shops or start schools. Gradually, the place became lively and prosperous. Roads were built, buildings rose, and banks appeared. The poor were no longer poor. Later, people discovered that this capitalist lived in a luxurious villa abroad, flew first class, and drove high-end cars. This caused discontent. We still ride tractors. Why does he get to drive a car? We work hard just to live in a 60-square-meter house. Why does he live in a luxury villa? The capitalist is exploiting us, drinking the blood of our labor. It was decided, we must walk the path of common prosperity. We must confiscate the capitalist's wealth. We must drive him out of our village. So the capitalist was driven away and everyone celebrated. But soon after, the factory closed. Apples could no longer be sold, and the small shops nearby also shut down one by one. The area gradually declined. Girls from outside stopped coming, and not only did they stop coming, but local girls didn't want to find local partners anymore and left. Income disappeared. Many men couldn't find partners, and people couldn't afford their utilities anymore. Within a few years, they returned to their original state of poverty. This theoretical deduction shows that eliminating capitalists doesn't make life better for the poor. Let's consider a few real-world examples, though I'll just mention them here. For detailed content, you can search online. Argentina was once among the top 10 in the world, seen as another rising America, where being rich as an Argentine was an enviable compliment. Many Europeans immigrated there. However, Argentina declined, and now 40% of Argentinians are poor. Venezuela was once the richest country in Latin America, known for its black gold everywhere, and entered the middle income category early on. Today, over 2 million Venezuelans have fled the country, which has become impoverished. Zimbabwe was once the breadbasket of southern Africa, a cradle of civilization and a tourist destination in southern Africa. Today, it's among the poorest countries in the world. Why did these countries fall from heaven to hell? The fundamental reason is the elimination of capitalists. Compare South Korea and North Korea, or West Germany and East Germany. South Korea and West Germany had capitalists and thus prospered. North Korea and East Germany eliminated capitalists and so remained poor. Theoretical deductions and harsh realities tell us that without capitalists, the poor cannot change their impoverished conditions. If the poor want to be wealthy, they must embrace capitalists. Now, suppose you're a poor person. Your annual income was 10,000 yuan, but with a capitalist, it increased to 100,000 yuan. Is it better to have capitalists or not? As a poor person, if you benefit from having capitalists, why drive them away or eliminate them? As for how capitalists live luxuriously, why bother so much? They aren't saints. Isn't it natural for them to enjoy the fruits of their efforts? Their enjoyment is their business. The poor should focus on their own benefits. As long as their benefits keep improving, why envy the rich life of capitalists? In conclusion, the way forward for the poor is to embrace capitalists, not eliminate them. Some say, I will rely on the government. Are you foolish? The government is an institution that consumes wealth, not one that creates it. Relying on a consumer to increase your wealth is like expecting a thief to make you rich. February 16th, 2022.